A bodkin point is a type of arrowhead. In its simplest form it is an uncomplicated squared metal spike, and was used extensively during the Middle Ages. The typical bodkin was a square section arrowhead, generally up to 11.5 centimeters, 4.5 in, long and 1 centimeter, 0.39 in, thick at its widest point, tapered down behind this initial punch shape. Bodkin arrows complemented traditional broadhead arrows, which continued to be used, as the sharp, wide-cutting surface of the broadhead caused more serious wounds and tissue damage than the bodkin arrowhead. History. The name comes from the Old English word bodkin or bodkin, a type of sharp, pointed dagger. Arrows of the long bodkin type were used by the Vikings and continued to be used throughout the Middle Ages. The bodkin point eventually fell out of use during the 16th and 17th centuries, as armor largely ceased to be worn and firearms took over from archery. Armor penetration. It has been suggested that the bodkin came into its own as a means of penetrating armor, but research by the Royal Armouries has found no hardened bodkin points, though only 2 bodkin points were actually tested, not a statistically relevant number. Bodkins did, however, have greater ability to pierce mail armor than broadheads, and historical accounts do speak of bodkin arrows shot from close range piercing plate armor. Broadheads were made from steel, sometimes with hardened edges, but were more often used against lightly armored men or horses than against an armored adversary. In a modern test, a direct hit from a steel bodkin point penetrated mail armor, although at point-blank range. However, the test was conducted without a padded jack or gambeson, which was layered cloth armor worn under heavier armor for protection against projectiles, as it was known to stop even heavy arrows. Armor of the medieval era was not completely proof against arrows until the specialized armor of the Italian city-state mercenary companies. Archery was thought not to be effective against plate armor in the Battle of Neville's Cross, 1346, the Siege of Bergerac, 1345, and the Battle of Poitiers, 1356. Such armor became available to European knights and men at arms of fairly modest means by the late 14th century, though never to all soldiers in any army. Some recent tests have demonstrated that needle bodkins could penetrate all but heavy steel plate armor. One test used padded jack armor, coat of plates, iron and steel mail and steel plate. A needle bodkin penetrated every type, but may not have been able to inflict a lethal injury behind plate. As with all other tests, accuracy of these tests is called into question as the arrowheads were all high-carbon steel and hardened, and the historical accuracy of the armor tested is unknown. In one test of historical arrows from the London Museum, a Type 16 barbed arrowhead was indeed found to be steel. The composition of the other types of arrowheads, including bodkins, was not tested.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.